Even the Democrats say, you can't bring these cases. You have no case. The Attorney General or the District Attorney, Fannie Willis, in Atlanta, she's getting killed. Basically, she's saying Trump doesn't have the right to criticize an election. But you've been around long enough now. You've seen many elections criticized. I mean, Hillary Clinton goes crazy. Every time she talks, she says, he's not the president. Jimmy Carter said, he's not the president. Well, I am the president.
Welcome, brothers and sisters. It is so good to have you all back. Now, as most of you know, President Trump has had his mugshot that they were just dying to get of him. And it has not had the effect that the lefties were hoping that it would. In fact, it's had the exact opposite effect. It has united conservatives, Republicans, independents. We are all uniting behind President Trump. How dare they treat an ex-president the way that they are treating him? I think everybody has had enough. And now what? The thought police, it's actually, they're calling it a crime to have an opinion about an election? Are you kidding me? Well, I don't know about y'all, but the mugshot, best mugshot I've ever seen, doesn't even look like one, and all I saw was strength, power, and everyone is uniting. FAFO. So, look, let's take a look at this video I've got for you right here.
I was not in this body 4 years ago, but what I observed as a voter, as a citizen of Illinois 4 years ago, were troubling evidence of the fact that not every vote was being counted.
Senator from New York.
Mr. President, this is obviously a difficult debate for many reasons, but I commend the senator from California for joining with members of the House, most particularly Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones, in raising the objection because it does permit us to air some of these issues.
Why did a computing error in Franklin County initially award 4,258 extra votes to George Bush when only 638 people had actually voted? Thankfully, they fixed it. But how many other votes did the computers get wrong?
Too many voters have cast votes on machines that jam or malfunction or suck the votes without a trace.
As we look at our election system, I think it's fair to say that there are many legitimate questions about its accuracy, about its integrity, and they're not confined to the state of Ohio.
Because of these and many other examples, all documented in the press, I am joining with Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones to cast the light of truth on a flawed system.
There is no reason at a time when we have enormous battles taking place ideologically all across the globe, at a time when we're trying to make certain that we encourage democracy in Iraq and Afghanistan and other places throughout the world, that we have the legitimacy of our elections challenged, rightly or wrongly, by people who are not certain as to whether our processes are fair and just.
Ohio is the objection. I'm from Ohio, I'm raising the objection. But I anticipate you will also hear from some of my colleagues from other states who had similar situations. Now, it's easy to say, well, it happened in Ohio, it happened in Michigan, it happened in Arizona, and so let's not worry about it because it happened everywhere.
So I would hope that this body, and thanks to the objection of my friend from California, this debate, which has started today, will continue.
But there are other things that are being presented that people have shown that I witnessed myself, that would say to me that the irregularities in Ohio deserve a hearing in the House of Representatives.
I would be standing here saying this no matter what the outcome of the election, because I still think the best rule in politics is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Well, you saw that. That was 2006. Now, the Dems have probably contested every single election they've ever lost, anywhere. Not just then, but we know whenever President Trump won, that they were going around contesting it. But there's tons and tons of footage of that. So why is there constantly this double standard? And why do we constantly keep putting up with it? I think all they've done, they've pushed it too far.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President, have you, I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased.
Right.
And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks.
Right.
I think it's a fair question to ask, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern.
Wow. Now, he is smug, isn't he? Can you believe that? The way he talked to Tucker? Thanks for noticing. I don't know why he's even running, other than I think he's trying to get donations so that he can fill his bank account. I don't know what y'all think, but let me know in the comments why you think Trader Pence, would even bother to be running right now. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't think anybody can stand him. I think we should have all known something was up when we saw the fly on his head. But alright, let me show you what other people think of Pence out there. Alright, let's get another quick slow-mo of that. You've got to see it again. Now, notice that he doesn't even turn around and look. In fact, the guy right here in the red, he turns around and looks like, what's he gonna do, right? It's a bunch of dorks. I don't even know who these people are out there walking with him, or why he would walk in a parade in this country where no one can stand him because he betrayed the entire nation. Not to mention President Trump. Honestly, I think this country is sick to death of all these RHINOs and corrupt political officials and DAs and judges, and we've all had enough. Take a look at this clip if you don't believe me.
Listen, everybody. Hey, y'all up there, pay attention. Here's what happens. Listen.
The truth is, this pisses them off. You know it does. You can look at his face and see how frustrated he absolutely is with the situation. He laughs and acts like he's going to get everything under control, but he can't. And that frustrates him to no end. They all deserve everything they're getting, plus a lot more. And we know they're the ones that deserve to be facing criminal charges. They're the ones that need to be paying and going through hell for what they've done to the American public. We all know it. If you haven't seen this picture right here, this is the cell that the political prisoners from January 6th are in. And we know none of the real instigators are actually in prison. It's a bunch of innocent people who didn't do anything but exercise their right to peacefully protest. A lot of them never even went inside the Capitol, and yet they're political prisoners, and many still haven't even faced trial. And absolutely they're not getting a fair trial. That's not going to happen. So something's got to change. We've got to unite. We've got to stand together in unity and do something. We need to stand behind President Trump. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what they say. They won't be able to go out in public anywhere. They won't even be able to walk around on the streets. And we're starting to see that come true, aren't we? I think it's very, very interesting, a lot of the things we're starting to see come true.
They can indict you 20 times and you're not going to lose the Republican primary because of that.
Well,
So,
it makes it look even more ridiculous. I mean, the 4 indictments, and maybe there'll be more. I don't know. These people are crazy.
But they're counterproductive. So if you chart it out, it's an escalation, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what's next? After, try to put you in prison for the rest of your life, that's not working. So, don't they have to kill you now?
I think the people of our country don't get enough credit for how smart they are. And I'm not sure I would have said this 10 years ago, but they get it. They really get it. When somebody gets indicted, your poll numbers go down. When somebody gets indicted, you announce, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be leaving to spend time with my family and to fight for the rest of my life on this stuff. But you're out of politics. I got indicted 4 times. All trivia, nonsense, bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's horrible when you look and you look at what they're doing. The boxes hoax, I'm covered by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do exactly that. He's not covered, and he's got 25 times the number of boxes, and he's got them stored in Chinatown. He's got them stored in a flimsy garage underneath his Corvette at Penn. And by the way, at Penn, he gets millions of dollars. China pays this guy millions of dollars. See, I think he's the most corrupt president we've ever had, and he also has the distinction of being the most incompetent. And I believe both. I mean, he's both incompetent and corrupt.
So
and
I
actually believe he's compromised because China knows so much about him. They know where the money comes from. They know where it is, who paid it, and they probably paid it. Well, they do pay Penn, and he gets $1 million. I think he takes $999,000 because, keeps it a little bit under $1 million, like by $1. But he, in many ways, is a Manchurian candidate. We have a Manchurian candidate. And he's afraid to tell Russia to get out of Cuba. He's afraid to tell China to get out of Cuba. He's afraid. China now is building, think of this, China is building military installations in Cuba. The Cuban population of Miami is not too happy because they're never going to be able to go back. And you don't even hear about it. And the worst culprit is the press, the media, because normally, when I first heard that China is building installations in Cuba. And installations means military installations. Okay, they said just some communication.
Well, it's definitely crazy how much President Trump can take. He is one strong man. And he's fighting for us. He's fighting for our country. He's fighting for this nation because he loves this nation. He loves the people. And he believes in it. So we need to stick right with him. Stay united. Stay behind him. Whatever he needs, we need to be there, and don't give up. We can't give up on our nation because if we do, they're going to destroy it. They're in the process of destroying it now, and we've got to stop it, and we can do it. We can do it if we band together, if we unite together. We have our leader. We need him back in the White House, in his rightful place. We've got to make sure that they can't falsify any more elections. We got to make sure voter ID law. Whatever we got to do to make sure the rule of law comes back and is followed. Band together, protect your communities from all the stuff that's going on, all the thieving and looting. Got to put a stop to it. We can do it. We can do it when we work together. But I tell you what, all that mugshot did was make everybody unite behind him. It sure made me want to unite behind President Trump and stick with him. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please give me a follow, a like, a subscribe, join my community, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for joining me.